Hey guys, this is Nintendo Guy 1981. Welcome to the next Let's Predict Mario Kart 9. Now I know there's chances of more Mario Kart 8 DLC, but that'll probably be predicted in the future. So today I'm just going to talk about retro tracks like most people do. So here we go. So I'm just going to start off with the consistency of the retro tracks. For Mario Kart DS, which is where the retro tracks started, it was perfect. They had 4 tracks used from each game. That was perfect, and the track selections were good. So that's basically it for Mario Kart DS. Since it was so good, there's not that much to say. So here's the Wii. 6 tracks in total used from SNES, 8 from N64, 6 from Game Boy Advance, 8 from GameCube, and 4 from DS. Now, as we all know, Nintendo sort of had this formula where the newest 2 Mario Kart games will always have 4 tracks added. That is really good, but if we take a look at the SNES and GBA games, they have 20 tracks compared to the other ones, 16. So I would have used more SNES and GBA tracks. So overall, the Wii's balance is still pretty good. But Mario Kart 7 is where it gets messed up and tricky, so let's take a look at that. 8 tracks total now from SNES, 11 from N64, 7 from GBA, 10 from GameCube, 8 from DS, and 4 from Wii. Alright, so just by taking a look at the numbers, the DS and Wii have 4 tracks added, but look at SNES and GBA once again, 20 tracks and only single digits. That is just really bad. They're gonna have SNES and GBA tracks till like Mario Kart 16 or something, and that's just not good. And what's even worse is that the N64 now only has 5 tracks left to choose from. That is just really bad, and that will just make the future of Mario Kart retro trackless, meaning that there will probably be just no more retro tracks. And that'll just make the whole series boring, and it'll probably fail just because of Nintendo not organizing the retro track consistency out that great. I mean, they used 3 from N64, but here's the ultimate question. Why did they use so many? I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have only used 1 N64 track and more SNES and GBA tracks again. Now, notice I'm not talking about the GameCube because it has been doing really good. Only 2 tracks have been used for Mario Kart 7. It's still got 6 tracks left. That is really good. Now, for Mario Kart 8, I'm going to do both DLC and without DLC. So, here we go. Alright, so here's Mario Kart 8 without DLC. The consistency sucks. Look at this. Only 1 SNES track and only 1 Game Boy Advance track again. The DS got 3 used. GameCube got, once again, 2 more used. Those 2 did pretty good. But remember Nintendo's formula of how the newest 2 games would always have 2 tracks added? Look at the Wii and the 3DS. Only 2 tracks were added from Wii and only 3 from 3DS. What happened? Why did you not use that formula anymore, Nintendo? And what's the worst? The Nintendo 64 had the smallest selection of tracks to pick from, and it has the highest selection of tracks in the entire game. Nintendo used 4 N64 tracks, and they probably didn't even realize that they only had 5 left, because if they had used all 5, the N64 would have been gone. And that probably will happen for Mario Kart 9, because now they only have 1 retro track left to use, and it's Wario Stadium. That was just disastrous. And once again, the SNES and GBA have 20 tracks, yet they're still in the single digits. That's just really bad. But the good news is, the DLC kind of fixed the consistency up, but not that much, even though it did do a good job with it. So here's Mario Kart 8 with the DLC. Now, I'm not counting Baby Park and Yoshi Circuit from Double Dash because those tracks were already remade in the Mario Kart DS, and I'm not counting SNES Rainbow Road because that was already remade in Mario Kart 7. So, taking a look at the consistency with the DLC added. No tracks from SNES, 0 from N64, 2 from Game Boy Advance. Now, that's really good because the Game Boy Advance was before in the single digits with only 8 tracks in total used. Nintendo used 2 more for the DLC, and Cheeseland and Ribbon Road were such great selections, and now half of the Game Boy Advance tracks have been used. So, that's really, really good. GameCube and DS are still on track, and they kind of fixed up their formula, almost. They added one more 3DS track, which is Neo Bowser City, and it was never remade before in any Mario Kart games, because it had came out in Mario Kart 7. Now, just one question. They fixed up the 3DS, but even though they added one more Wii track, it didn't fix up the formula completely, because they only added one Wii track. Why waste SNES Rainbow Road? Well, why add SNES Rainbow Road again when they just could have added one more Wii track to fix up the formula? I would have probably added a track like Dry Dry Ruins from Mario Kart Wii, because that was such a good track, and it's probably kind of better than SNES Rainbow Road, even though SNES Rainbow Road looks really good on Mario Kart 8 in HD. Now, Nintendo said they were not going to reuse some of the retro DLC tracks, so I have to count some of the tracks that they used for Game Boy Advance and Wii and 3DS in my Mario Kart 9 predictions for consistency. So here we go. Here's my predictions. Alright, so I think Nintendo should add 2 more SNES tracks to get SNES in the double digits. They should just use Wario Stadium and wrap up the N64. 2 more Game Boy Advance tracks, 2 more GameCube tracks, 2 more DS tracks. Also do 2 more Wii tracks. Try 3 more 3DS tracks and 2 Wii U tracks. Now, I know that's a little unbalanced, but it was just what I came up with to get the best selections. Now, notice I did 25 instead of 16 for Wii U. That is combining original DLC and original tracks together. Now, when I say original DLC, that means tracks that don't begin with GCN or DS that were in DLC. And original tracks, those were the tracks that originally came with the game when it debuted on May 30th, 2014, that don't begin with, like, GCN or GBA. So now I'm going to get to the actual track predictions. Alright, so for the Shell Cup, my best selections that I could find were SNES Mario Circuit 4, Wii U Toad Harbor, DS Figure 8 Circuit, and GBA Riverside Park. Those are good Shell Cup difficulty tracks, right? Banana Cup, Wii Dry Dry Ruins, 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar, SNES Donut Plains 2, and DS Mario Circuit. Leaf Cup, N64 Wario Stadium, 3DS Maka Woohoo, Wii U Sunshine Airport, and GameCube Wario Coliseum, obviously, because people are dying for that track to be used, and I think it might get used in Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 3 or 4 if they end up coming out. Lightning Cup, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, Wii Moonview Highway, that course would look so good in HD. And Nintendo started using Retro Bowser's Castles. So the next one in line would be the GameCube, and the next Rainbow Road in line would be the Game Boy Advance Rainbow Road. So those are all my consistency and retro track predictions for Mario Kart 9. What ideas do you have in mind? Leave a comment down below telling me your ideas. Also, what do you think of this video? Please leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts. Also, please leave a like and subscribe. Expect another episode of Let's Predict Mario Kart 9 tomorrow, as well as a vlog.